What's good, YouTube? It's Rico here. I'm not gonna be home for like the rest of the night. Like I'm gonna get back at like past midnight. But the May 2019 ban list did drop about, I want to say 2 hours ago. And like it's technically an April list. Like it takes effect on April 29th, but it's basically a May list. So it's really short. So I've actually like memorized every single change on it. But I wanted to like just go over my basic like thoughts on the list, just because I didn't have a live reaction to it. I couldn't really do that with not having access to my computer. But yeah, it was a lot of like expected stuff. There was like some stuff that I thought would happen that didn't. Overall, I think the list was fine. There weren't a lot of changes that really needed to be made in the format. It was in a pretty good spot, really. But yeah, so just going on a really quick rundown. I think it's only like 6 cards changed or something, 6 or 7 or 8 or something. There were 3 bans, which were Summon Sorceress, Dark Matter, and the Rank Up Magic, the Phantom Knight one. I think these were all really good changes. Summon Sorceress is just like too generically powerful, and she gives decks way too many options. Like I think like I like her design as a card, but she was too generically useful and too powerful at what she did. Like being able to pull anything from your deck that's the same type as something she points to, especially in a lot of archetypes that share a type. Like in Orcus, just grabbing World Wand for free is crazy. Thunder Dragon, Danger, you can grab a dragon or you can grab a Thunder Monster to make a second Colossus if you're not playing the Danger version. There's just a lot of really crazy things she can do, and she kind of raised the ceilings for decks that could use her too high. So like as much as I like the design of the card and I like the play she opened up, I do think she was a little too powerful for like the format. So I think it made sense that she went away. And like I used to be in the camp of like maybe if they hit Reaper she'd be fine, but like even in something like Orcus, they don't even use Reaper to make her. They just take 2 like fiends or like 2 machines and make her. So yeah, Dark Matter, like that card has just always been unfair. Like yeah, like it's just like by happenstance every time Dark Matter's been broken, something else has been broken too. Like the first time was with the Dragon Rules, and the Dragon Rules have always been broken. And then like, but just the entire concept of dumping 3 dragons on summon, and it's like a cost, so you can't even negate that. Like you have to stop the summon of Dark Matter itself to stop that. It's just like, that's just a huge slippery slope of like dangerous card design, where like anytime something dragon related becomes powerful, where they just want to dump things in the graveyard, like Dark Matter is just going to become a problem. And like with this, it was like Goliath and Archbrave combo shit with all the guard dragons. Like you could argue that Goliath was probably also a problem, and I would argue that it is, but like Dark Matter is just something that shouldn't be in the game. So I think it was correct to hit it. I mean, if Goliath ever becomes a problem again, then we'll just hit Goliath. But yeah, that was good. And then the Rank Up Magic just stops Orcus from being, just having like the stupid degenerate plays. Like not even just Orcus, but like some people wanted Azathoth to be hit, and like Azathoth is not entirely a fair card. I think out of all the things that the Rank Up Magic was summoning, Azathoth's probably the one that has enough of a case to be ban worthy, just because it's also pretty powerful to summon on your opponent's turn by shutting off every hand trap. But like the Rank Up Magic broke Azathoth, it broke the Kali Yuga in Magicians, and then it was gonna break, what is it, the True King of All Calamities with Orcus, because Orcus can now summon that instead of Azathoth with Dingirsu, which we're getting in Dark Neostorm. So like generic searchable Rank Up Magics are just a really dangerous slope of card design also, like in the same vein of Dark Matter, that it's really easy to break the Rank Up Magic mechanic if the cards are generic. So, and that's why Argent Chaos Force was broken, for example, and like, and the fact that the Rank Up Magic is searchable because it's a Phantom Knight card makes it really, really powerful. So I think it made sense to ban that instead of like, you know, Azathoth or like all 3 or 4 of the Rank Up Magic targets. Like it sucks that Dark Requiem's a literally unplayable card now, but it, like whatever. Like that's not a card that was seeing play anyway, and the ban list is for competitive play, and the Rank Up Magic was not healthy, especially because Orcus is going to get a pretty big boost in Dark Neostorm. And then, so yeah, that was all the bans. I think they were fine. The limits were this one I found amusing was they limited Lady Debug, which I just found surprising because I didn't think they were gonna actually hit Salamangreat. But like out of all the things they hit, I found it kind of funny if they hit Lady Debug. I guess it's an indirect hit because it's not a Salamangreat card, and she has a pretty powerful card in the deck. Like if she walks, like if she gets negated, it sucks. But if she walks, it's like a 1-card combo right there. So I guess they wanted to like, if they wanted to curb Salamangreat at all, I guess they wanted to curb that. They limited Kagari. I think that was a good move to curb Sky Striker. I would have personally banned multi-roll instead. I am a very vocal hater of that card. I really don't like multi-roll's existence. But I think Kagari was an effective hit also. I think for Sky Striker to keep up, if they even can with one Kagari, they will probably have to play like Hercules base to constantly recycle it, and that kind of kills like the real power of Kagari, which was grabbing back Engage, because now you're gonna have to grab back multi-roll if you want to keep using Kagari. So like, I would have preferred they lose multi-roll, but losing 2 Kagaris also hurts their insane grind game, and that was the biggest thing that made Sky Striker so good, is that they could always play the game, and as long as they were playing the game and not getting like stunned out, they were probably winning, just because they could outgrind the opponent. I don't think there were any other limits besides those. Oh no, there was one more. It was Phantom Skyblaster. That card's really broken. I think it should have been banned, which has also been my stance on Scapegoat. And I say this as a Danger Thunder player, like that card should not exist. But limiting it to 1 does make it way less of a problem. I can't like, without that, or without Summon Sorceress, you can't like consistently just throw monsters on the board to like constantly like push through everything and make the Saryuja play. It's gonna make Phantom Skyblaster more sacky, because if I draw it and then I just have it. But it's probably a lot better than having it at 3, where I just constantly have to accept the fact that I might just break through everything. But yeah, that's all the limits. And then the semi-limits, they moved Super Poly to 2, which I'm not the biggest fan of, because I don't think Super Poly is a well-designed card. But I admittedly don't think it'll be doing anything broken. It'll be a blowout card against like decks, like dark decks, because of Dragostapelia, and then like you could maybe use it against Salamangreat. But I mean, I don't like its existence, but I don't think it's a problem. And then Miscellaneous Saurus. Dinosaur hasn't been doing anything in a long ass time, so they could probably appreciate the boost. And without Lithosystem, they're not going to do anything broken. But yeah, that was the entire list. I think it was only like 8 changes total. 3 bans, 3 limits, a semi, and an unlimit. Like I said, there wasn't really a lot they needed to do. I think all the decks were in a pretty good spot. Some things just needed to be toned down. Danger Thunder's ability to just break through shit needed to be toned down. And then like Sky Striker's ability, like Sky Striker has consistently won like damn near every single event, and it's been like a top deck, if not the top deck, for almost an entire year. So I think they definitely needed to tone it down, and I think they did. Moving into Nats, I think that like none of the top 3 decks, I don't think any of them are going to go away. Salamangreat's still in a good spot, even without like Lady Debug. They might have to play like Flame Buffalo, or there's like some side net card coming out that apparently is really good for them, so like one of those will have to be played. Sky Striker, like, I'm not sure, because like I feel like the Kagari hit's pretty significant. Like the OCG was able to play through the Kagari hit, but they also have Pot of Avarice at 3. So they have that ability to just like constantly recycle Kagari that way. And even then, I think Sky Striker's really fallen off over there, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like losing the 2 Kagari might hurt Sky Striker enough where they can't really keep up well. They'll probably still make showings, but I don't think it's going to be the best deck. Just because like losing Kagari does hurt them a lot. Danger Thunder, like, so from the perspective of a Danger Thunder player, like a lot of people say Danger Thunder got a slap on the wrist, and yes, the deck is still playable, and it's still very good, but I definitely think it's a lot easier to stop now, because like Phantom Skyblaster at 3 was the biggest reason the deck could just push through things, because you could start off with the Saryuja play, and even if that got like Ashed or Veilored, you might just have the means to put a dragon on board and then continue with the play even though your Saryuja got negated. And then like, so Phantom Skyblaster to 1 kind of weakens that, and you don't have as many ways to just like immediately put 4 monsters on the board. And then the deck's backup plan, if the Saryuja play failed, was Summon Sorceress. So with that gone, there isn't really a backup for when you aren't able to make it to Saryuja. You can't just easily make it in another way. So in that sense, I think the deck's a lot easier to stop now, which is fine. It's still really good, but I don't think it's going to be like crazy dominant. I could be wrong. Like that deck keeps evolving. Like we could find something that makes it absurd. I was really honestly surprised they didn't limit Saryuja, because I think that card's really degenerate at a number higher than 1. But I guess like they thought Phantom Skyblaster and Summon Sorcerer's Going was enough to curb that card for now. I don't agree with that, but I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. And then Orcus is going to get a boost with Dark Neostorm, so they might shoot up to like be like the 4th of those big 3 decks. Like I think they're like the best deck in the OCG right now, or at least they're like competing with Salamangreat for the #1 spot. I don't know how the dangers are gonna affect that. Like the dangers help Orcus, but they also really help Thunder Dragon. So that change might make it so like I don't know if that'll make Orcus struggle a bit more, because Danger Thunder is still a thing. And then like there's also like all the road decks. True Draco's still fine. Salamangreat. Pendulum is still fine. Altergeist maybe? Like I don't know. Altergeist kind of lost its one niche of like being able to body Sky Striker though, and like Salamangreat and Danger Thunder and Orcus kind of just like shit all over it. So I don't know. Format's looking to be a continuation of the one we had, but like probably a bit more balanced. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and that's basically my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching YouTube, and I'll see you next time.